When the sun goes down, the stars come out. From deep in the heart of Texas, it's The Star at Night. Coming to you from the Cowboys facility at The Star in Frisco. With your hosts, Kelsey Charles and David Helman.
What's up, guys? Kelsey Charles and David Helman here, and we are back for another episode of The Star at Night. Dave, new segment alert. We're full of them this week. Does it make sense? Obviously.
They're all new when the show's new. That's what we keep saying. It's fine.
It's fine. Just roll with it. Today's internet. It was nothing short of lit this week. Wow, I sound so old trying to be cool like that. Anyway.
You are lame.
Turns
you are
30.
lame.
Automatically. We've been talking a lot about Scott this offseason. Stop talking. But another Cowboys quarterback is the one actually making headlines, and maybe not in the way you'd expect. Dave, apparently Troy Aikman might be into some shady dealings.
Yeah, smuggling 500 pounds of marijuana is one way to describe shady. Which, okay. For the record, this isn't our Troy Aikman. This isn't number 8. Some guy named Troy, I don't know, Troy C or Troy Aikman, busted in a drug smuggling ring down near the Mexican border, which my main thought here, and Troy, number 8, our Troy, did post about this on his Instagram. As you might imagine, when somebody named after you gets busted smuggling pot, Kels, I've always said, like, don't name your kids after famous people because you never know what might happen, you know? Like, you never know if the person that you name your kid after might grow up to be a scumbag. But what if you actually embarrass your namesake? Like, you're giving Troy a bad name, guys. Come on. Like, we're better than this.
Listen, they loosened the CBA. It's totally fine. Like, whatever. It's all good.
Loosening the CBA doesn't mean you can smuggle 500 pounds of weed over the border. Like, that's different. They changed the drug testing rules, not whether or not it's a felony.
Get your life together for all
Incorrect. Yeah, Troy. Again, not that Troy. Troy Aikman, you keep doing your thing, buddy. But the other Troy, maybe think about what you've done.
Another thing that I was entertaining myself with today on the interwebs was a word search. Listen, I'm all for a puzzle, and this one came across my screen. Dave, I went ahead and took the liberty of asking one of our great Cowboys fans on Twitter to customize it for us. Here's the rules. The first word you find is going to describe the entire Cowboys season. Are you ready?
I am ready. I appreciate you giving this a Cowboys twist because the other one was too generic. So
yeah, I was like, Super Bowl done. Obviously, hello, keep going. Caden, the man of the hour, our amazing. Okay. Dak attack.
All right. I see the word poop, and I don't know if that's part of this. I think that might just be a coincidence. But I also see Wolf Hunter. Yeah. Hey. I'll take 16 healthy games from Leighton Vander Esch if that's what we want. I'm down with this. Okay, but I definitely all right. Coop is cool, but poop is definitely on there. I'm just saying. So does that mean Odell Beckham's on this somewhere, or I didn't want to go there, but I felt like I had to. We're not gonna talk about that.
Go sit in the corner.
Yeah. All right. Go Google it if you need to know.
I can't believe you said that. Of wide receivers.
Did I completely throw you off your game?
No, it's great. Speaking of famous NFL players, there's 2 of them that the Dallas Cowboys, you may know their names, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. They went full stepbrothers in the latest Frito-Lay commercial. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole night before Christmas ad campaign. They got Marshawn Lynch involved. This is clearly just an outtake from the larger commercial, but I just love that Dak and Zeke are leaning into the Step Brothers thing. Like, we've been photoshopping them into stuff from Step Brothers for years, And I'm just glad that they're leaning into it. They're like, yes, we're besties for the resties. We're doing sleepovers. We got bunk beds. I'm here for it.
214 till I die. In some more serious news, a name that you guys will remember from a few years ago, Ryan Shazier, he actually announced his retirement. You may recall a couple years ago, he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was actually paralyzed, but made an incredible recovery. So it was just this amazing, amazing story. And he came out this week and said that, hey, it's been real, but I'm going to go ahead and officially announce my retirement. So super happy for him, super proud of him. I mean, what an inspiration. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I saw, honestly, I was kind of convinced that he might play again. Like, that's how impressed I've been with his journey back from being paralyzed. But I saw the Steelers say, you're retiring from football today, but you'll never retire from being a Steeler, which obviously the Cowboys have a rich tradition of maintaining relationships with players after they retire. I thought that was really cool to see.
I love that. Another guy that is hanging up the helmet is one Aqib Talib, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. David,
Dallas Fort Worth's own Aqib Talib.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Listen, you and I have all the ties to him. Dallas, and then, you're the biggest KU fan around. I'm the second biggest KU fan around. So, Aqib, happy for you, my friend. Where is he going to be? He's going to be a broadcaster now, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's stepping into the world of media, which should be really fun. I mean, who's going to snatch chains on game day, though, without Aqib Talib? I don't think he's quite Hall of Fame caliber, but certainly one of the better cornerbacks in the league over the last decade. And if he's as entertaining in media as he was on the field, I feel like we're all going to be better off for it. So happy to hear that, too.
I agree. We're actually going to talk about another cornerback who is making some headlines this week. One that the Cowboys are going to be facing this upcoming Sunday. We have the Athletics' very own Jourdan Rodrigue joining us next to break down what you guys can expect from this upcoming matchup this weekend. And if said newly minted Rain Man went ahead and bought that house off of Hard Knocks. Coming up next.
What's up, guys? I'm Emma Garcia and just want to invite you to check out Cowboys Break every day at 11:30 a.m. You got the boss man Derek Eagleton. You got Nick Eman with the storytelling If These Walls Could Talk. You got David Helman, our local LSU homer and eyebrow rubber. And then you got me, who just calls it as it is. So make sure to check us out at 11:30 a.m. on all Dallas Cowboys platforms.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to The Star at Night. I'm Dave. She's Kelsey, as usual. Hard to believe, but yes, there is, in fact, a football game being played on Sunday. And, we can tell you everything about the Cowboys. Honestly, I know next to nothing about the Los Angeles Rams. It's been a long offseason. So we figure we might as well get somebody who could tell us about it. A dear friend of mine, Jourdan Rodrigue, in her first season covering the Rams with The Athletic. Longtime Panthers writer, but we'll get to that. Jourdan. Kind of a busy week for the Rams, splashing some cash around. Just giving $100 million to a cornerback.
It's fine.
Yeah, they entered the week $500K over the salary cap limit. Just gave out $105 million. It's fine. Everything's good. We're just chilling over here in California.
That's that LA money speaking now.
I know.
Yeah,
that's that
real.
Monopoly money speaking now.
So we talked about it before we started the interview. I'm curious. You are based in LA covering the Rams, and the people that break those types of stories, a lot of them live in New York City. So it's been a hectic week for you, making sure you're caught up on the news, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the time zone change has been a little bit of a bear for me. Obviously, I came from Carolina. I covered the Panthers for the last 4 years, and then now I'm in LA. The thing is that we knew this was coming, right? This was going to happen one day this week, right? It's just a matter of exactly when the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed and everything like that. When the team, of course, had its own package ready to release and all of that. So It's been funny. I was telling you guys off air, I was like, we could do this anytime. I'm probably awake because that time zone change made it necessary, man.
So it's 5 years, 105 million, the highest corner contract in NFL history. That's incredible as it is. But as someone who has been watching Hard Knocks, I have to know, do you think he bought the house?
I don't know if he bought that house so there's a lot of rattlesnakes in that area. I will say that. So when they were walking, I mean, he has a young child, so I don't know if he bought that one specifically. That one, I know where they were. They were kind of up near where they practice. He has a young child, and there are snake holes everywhere out there. So maybe not that one, but definitely the decor inside's a must. Absolutely a must.
I have to think he won't have a hard time finding something he can afford that's in his budget. So
Sure.
I feel like he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Which, all right, well, let's spin this into the actual football game that they're going to play, because it's amazing to me. And I know they played in the regular season last year. The Cowboys won big. But I think the game that everybody goes back to when you think about Cowboys-Rams is obviously the playoff game. And it's remarkable to me how much this Rams team has changed just in it hasn't even been 2 years since that's happened. So, Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald are the faces of this defense. But what is the identity? What is going to be the calling card of this Rams team as they go forward into this new
Who
future?
are the Rams, basically?
Seriously,
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
Who knows, guys? To be honest with you,
Story of our lives. That's
Story
what
of our
we've been
lives.
saying all week. We're like, well, we don't really know.
Yeah, I think they're playing on that though, because, even in our sort of weekly conference call with Mike McCarthy, it was pretty clear, like, there is no way of knowing what the identity of this Rams team is. You know who the key pieces are. You know the core: Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Those guys. Sean McVay. You have a pretty good feel for what he's probably going to throw at you. He's going to keep you on your toes and pedaling backwards if you're, on defense. But in terms of their two new coordinators, offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell, defensive coordinator Brandon Staley, two wild cards, because you can assume that Kevin O'Connell is going to really work within what Sean McVay is designing for the offense, right? But Brandon Staley is such a wild card, guys. He's got Vic Fangio roots, but he's got all of these twists and turns and different design patterns and different concepts that he wants this defense to run. And something that's really been notable for me so far to see is, yes, he has kind of a baseline scheme that does draw roots from Vic Fangio, who he spent some time with in Denver. But it's very much catered to the players. So to phrase it more clearly, you're designing a defense around Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. You could do worse, right?
Right. I was going to
Yeah.
say, not
Fair.
too shabby for having to work around something, if you will. I feel like that's a narrative that we've kind of heard here in Dallas recently, too, with this coaching staff, where they're really focused on designing their schemes around the players instead of trying to pigeonhole, for lack of a better way of saying it, these guys into a specific scheme, which I think, honestly, I guess when you have the guys that both of these teams have, that could prove to be pretty interesting come game day.
Yeah, I think so. And Sean's been doing that on offense forever, right? But especially with the versatile receivers he likes to bring in, and Goff kind of just like gets them the ball. He doesn't do anything like electrifying in terms of extending plays or anything. His job is like, get guys open, get them the ball, right? So that's definitely something you've seen from Sean, and then now they're sort of following that pattern on defense, which I think is going to be interesting to see.
Don't tell Cowboy fans that Jared Goff can't extend plays, because it was his scramble that sealed the playoff game. I know that's like exactly what everybody listening to this is saying. So, okay, one last thing before we let you go. I'm fascinated by the idea of, it's Sunday Night Football. It's, the newest stadium in the league, the jewel of the NFL. We've been talking about this day for 5 years, and nobody's going to be able to go. So, obviously that's a bummer. But what, with the pandemic and everything that's going on, the NFC champion is from the Rams division, the 49ers. what is the expectation in LA? Because here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're at a fever pitch. Mike McCarthy was just talking about how Super Bowl is the expectation, but in this new city with a new stadium, what does it feel like in LA right now for the start of this season? Is it Super Bowl or bust? Like what is the mindset in LA right now for this team?
I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust. I think they're sort of in the middle of a reload. I think Jalen's contract shows us that, where they're keeping very specific core pieces around. And I think there's going to be a sort of an unloading period next spring for a couple of other guys. But with that core, and especially with the stadium, with some of their marketing pushes, and by the way, the stadium that Jerry Jones helped them get, they very, very much are putting down roots, right? Like they were there for so long and then they uprooted and then they uprooted again. They are reestablishing their roots and their identity and their culture. And so by securing these core pieces, which are going, in my opinion, going to end up being Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, and Jalen Ramsey, those guys are their root players who they're going to kind of reestablish their identity in the Los Angeles area.
Well, I would just like to say that, again, pulling from some of the things that we've been able to watch on Hard Knocks, I know Michael Brockers has been doing some really heavy duty scouting of the Cowboys YouTube and Dave Helman's Twitter channels, but I watched the Hard Knocks scrimmage the other day. And so Coach McCarthy, I know you're watching this. Apparently Hollywood is the thing you should figure out what they're talking about because they use it a lot. So you're welcome for that scouting report. Jourdan, thank you so much for joining us. Great insight. Going to be a fun game. The NFL is back. Like, let's do this. Where can the people find you so they can get a good idea of really, truly what to expect come Sunday?
You can find me in Hollywood. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, it's a thing.
I'm just kidding.
That's fantastic.
You can find me at The Athletic, anything Los Angeles Rams. I also do some NFL broad coverage as well. Find me on Twitter at Jourdan Rodrigue, Jourdan Rodrigue. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It was a real pleasure.
This is fun.
The pleasure is all on this side of the webcam, so thank you very much. I won't see you this weekend, unfortunately, but maybe by the time the combine rolls around. But until then, Jourdan, thank you so much, and we will be back with more after this.
Hey there, everybody. Kyle Yeomans here with DallasCowboys.com, and I encourage all of you Cowboys fans out there to check out Talking Cowboys. The podcast is every week live on the website and on all social platforms at 9:30 every weekday morning. We've got myself alongside Isaiah Stanback, who's actually won one of those during his playing career as a former Dallas Cowboy. He won it with the Giants, but we'll forgive him for that. We've also got Heckma Harrison along with Dallas Cowboys insider Rob Phillips. It's a ton of fun every weekday morning at 9:30. Check it out on DallasCowboys.com.
So we had an entirely other segment planned for you all today, but we're switching gears because there's something else that we need to discuss. Typically, I don't like to give credence to national pundits and the narratives they throw our way, but there was something that came across my timeline today that I simply couldn't ignore. Skip Bayless went on his show and was discussing mental health, specifically Dak Prescott's journey and the journey of his late brother, Jace. There was an insinuation made that as a leader, you should simply fight through these things and not publicly showcase your struggles. And I couldn't disagree more. As someone who has firsthand experience with mental health, myself and in my family, it is shocking to see such arguments come across my screen. Not only are they ignorant, quite frankly, they're dangerous. The misconception here is that as a leader, you should be fighting through and hiding your struggles, but that narrative couldn't be more wrong. As a leader, you're honest, you're vulnerable, you're courageous. And those exact qualities are things that individuals who are embarking on their very own mental health journey go through and embody every single day. So to even remotely begin to say that we shouldn't be talking about these things, we shouldn't be openly working on these things, is not only wrong, but again, it's dangerous.
Wow, Kels, to be honest, you sound a lot like Dak Prescott himself right now. He actually he had the chance to speak to the media today after everything happened with Skip Bayless, which fortunately nobody even asked Dak to put Skip Bayless's name in his mouth, but he was asked, did you feel pressure? Did you feel like you were obligated to not talk about these things? He said, no, that would make me a fake leader, because a real leader is genuine and honest. And if I hadn't reached out to my friends and my teammates to talk about my struggles with mental health, I would never have known how commonplace it is. And that's honestly a huge takeaway of mine is, you talk about your own experiences with it. I don't really, but just through having an open mind and being willing to talk about these problems with people and share your experiences, I know how normal it is. I know how many people are dealing with this, whether it's my friends, my family, people I know. And you're absolutely right to try to hide it, to try to act like it doesn't exist. It's flat out dangerous. And that's, like you said, I hate talking about Skip Bayless. I don't think his opinions are valuable. But when his opinions can influence somebody into harming themselves or potentially even worse, that's pretty much where I draw the line. And I can't bear the thought of somebody watching his TV show who already felt helpless and heard that. It drives me crazy. And so, it's a bummer that we're spending time on our show talking about him, but I definitely think it was important and needed to be said.
You'll never convince me in a million years that someone chooses to feel that way, someone chooses to act that way or be in that position where they have to fight and, quite frankly, struggle daily just to be. As someone who's witnessed it firsthand, it's crazy, you guys. And again, we're going to talk about it. We're going to sit here through the discomfort because it's important and it matters. And for those of you that may be struggling, for those of you who are watching someone and therefore silently suffering yourself, I'm here to tell you, I am you. I see you. I hear you. Your journey, your story, you guys, it matters. And you weren't put on this planet to be perfect. And there's no shame in being human. And I don't ever want someone, no matter their position in life, no matter how perfect their Instagram is, to make you feel otherwise. So we just need to address that because, like I said earlier, it's a really dangerous rhetoric to be putting out into the world. And it's honestly shameful, especially in light of the reasoning why he was doing it for ratings. So, I don't have to know you as an individual to tell you this, that you matter and your life is important and the world needs you here. And in light of that, I want to make sure that we recognize that it is actually National Suicide Prevention Week. So we're going to go ahead and throw up a number here that, if for any reason you or someone feels the need to reach out, there's resources. There's always an answer. And again, there's no shame in asking for help. So I guess on that note, thanks for listening. Thanks for being real with us. Thanks for letting us have these types of tough conversations. Again, these important conversations because you matter and topics like these do matter. So that's all we've got for you guys today. Looking
well said, Kels, just for what it's worth. And I got your back, and anybody listening, watching, the same goes for you as well. So yeah,
it's a big deal. And like I said, there's no shame in walking through mental health issues, in walking through your own mental health journey. I'm proud to be someone that does it. I'm proud to be related to people that do it. And I'll stand by that all day, every day. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Fun episode, important resources, important messages. Let's play a little football this weekend, y'all. What do you say?
We'll have another one for you after the Cowboys have finally played a football game.
looking forward to it. Guys, have a great weekend. Stay well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. For David Helman, I'm Kelsey Charles. This has been The Star at Night. We'll see you guys next time.